Hello friends, and welcome to another edition of Michelle's Preschool Video Classroom. Today we're going to read Curious George Learns the Alphabet by H.A. Rey. Are you ready? This is George. He lived with his friend, the man with the yellow hat. He was a good little monkey, but always very curious. This morning, George was looking at some of his friend's books. They were full of little black marks, dots, and lines. And George was curious. What could he do with them? What he's going to do? The man with the yellow hat came just in time. You don't tear a book apart to find out what's in it. He said, you read it, George. Books are full of stories. Stories are made of words, and words are made of letters. If you want to read a story, first you have to know the letters of the alphabet. Let me show you. The man took a big pad and began to draw. George was curious. There is an A, the man said. The A is the first letter of the alphabet. Now, we add 4 feet and a long tail, and it becomes an alligator with his mouth wide open. The word alligator starts with A. This is the big A. There is also a small a. All letters come in big and small. This is small a. It looks like a piece of an apple. George knew alligators and apples. You could eat apples, and alligators could eat you if you didn't watch out. This is big B. The big B looks like a bird. If we put feet on it, a tail and a bill. The word bird begins with B. Birds come in all colors. This bird is blue. George loves to watch birds. This is a small bee. It looked like a bee. This bee is busy buzzing around a blossom. The bee's body has black and yellow stripes. George kept away from bees. They might sting, and that would be bad. This is big C. We will make it into a big crab with a shell and feet and 2 claws. This is little c. The small c is like the big C, only smaller. So it becomes a small crab. It's so cute. Crabs live in the ocean. They can swim and run sideways and backwards. Crabs can be funny, but they can also pinch you. You have learned 3 letters, George, said the man. A, B, and C. These 3 letters, you can make a word. The first word you can read yourself. The word is cab. Cab. You know cab. What a cab is. Once I took you for a ride in a cab, remember? And now let's draw one next to the letter. This is big D. Could be a dinosaur. There are no live dinosaurs today. They have died out. Those you see in the museums are dummies. George had seen dinosaurs in the museum once. The small D is like a dromedary. A dromedary is a camel with 1 hump. Riding on a dromedary can make you dizzy because it only goes up and down and up and down and up and down. The big E is an elephant. He is eating his evening meal, eggplants. George loved elephants. The small E could be an ear of a man or the ear of a monkey. People's ears and monkeys' ears look very much alike. The big F is a fireman fighting a fire. Never fool the fire department. You'll go to jail, and that is no fun. The small f is a flower. George's friend is fond of flowers. George prefers food. The big G is a goose. Goose starts with G, like George. The small g is a goldfish. He is in a glass bowl and looks gray. Or gay, which means happy. Now you know 7 letters, George. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, said the man. With these letters, you can already make quite a few words. I've written some of them down for you. Read them while I get your lunch. It seems the only word that you learned, George, was bad, said the man with the yellow hat when he came back. I think we've had enough for the one morning. I'll feed you, and then you'll take a nap. And after your nap, we'll go with more letters. The big H is a house. It stands on a hill behind a hedge. George's home used to be the jungle, but now he lives in a house. The small h is a horse. He's happy because he has heaps of hay. George had his own horse, a hobby horse. The big I is just like a long line going straight down. It does not look much like an eye. It could be an icicle. The small I is a line with a dot at the top. It could be an iguana. An iguana is a sort of lizard. Iguanas don't like ice. They like warm sunshine, and so does George. The big J is a jaguar. Jaguars live in the jungle. George knew jaguars. He had lived in the jungle once. The small J is a jack-in-the-box. George had a jack-in-the-box as a toy. He just loved to make it jump. The big K is a big kangaroo called Katie. The small K is a small kangaroo. He is called a katydid. The big L is a lion. He's lucky. He's going to have a leg of lamb for lunch, and he loves it. The small L is a lean lady. She is strolling along a lake, licking a lollipop. George likes lollipops. The big M is a mailman. His name is Mr. Miller. He brings a letter. Maybe it's for me, thinks George. The small M is a mouse. He is munching mints. And do you know what else it is? Said the man to George. M is the 13th letter of the ABC. The whole alphabet has only 26 letters, so 13 is just half of it. You can make lots of words with these letters. Why don't you try? Here's a pad and pencil. George started to think of words, and then he wrote them down. It was fun to make words out of letters. Let me see, said the man. Ball, milk, cake, ham, jam, egg, lime. Feed it, kid, that's very good. But what on earth is dog and gilchi, or balimum? There are no such things. Just any letters do not make words, George. Well, let's look at some new letters now. The big N is for a napkin. Standing on a dinner plate, it looks neat. George has seen napkins folded that way in the restaurant when he was a dishwasher. The small N is a nose on the face of a man. He has a new blue necktie and is nibbling noodles. The big O is the big ostrich. Small O is a small ostrich, of course. Ostriches eat odd objects. One ostrich tried to eat a bugle that belonged to George once. The big P is a big penguin, and the small p is a small penguin. These penguins live near the South Pole. They use their flippers as paddles. George knew penguins from the zoo. The big Q is a quail. Quails have short tails. You must keep quiet if you want to watch quails. They are quite shy. The small Q is a quarterback. A quarterback has to be quick. George was quick. He would qualify for quarterback. And now, let's get the football, George, said the man. It will do you good to play a little before we go on with your letters. George knew how to play the game. He knew how to throw and carry the ball, and how to take a 3-point stance, and how to get ready for a kickoff. He was a fine halfback, too, and he could make a short pass or recover a fumble. Good game, said the man. But time's up now. Back to the alphabet, George. The big R is a rabbit. Some rabbits are white with red eyes. Rabbits love radishes, and George loved rabbits. He had one as a pet. The small R is a rooster. The rooster crows when the sun rises. Two roosters will start a rumpus, and they really can get rough. The big S is a big snail, and the small s is a small snail. Snails are slow. They sneak into their shells when they are scared of something. George thought snails were silly. They are. The big T is a table, and the table is set for two. It is time for tea. George did not like tea, but he did like toast. The small T is a tomahawk. George had a toy tomahawk. It was a tiny one. He took it along when he played Indian. He also had a teepee and an Indian tent. Now it's time for snacks, said the man. Run over to the baker, George, and hand him the note. Then come right back with the donuts, 1 dozen of them, and no tricks, please. George was curious. He looked at the note the man had written, 1 dozen donuts. Maybe he could write something on it, too. How about writing 10 instead of 1? He had just learned T. First a T, and then an E, and then an N. Said the baker. 10 dozen donuts seems like quite a lot, but that's what the note says. We need an extra big box for them. Why, George, cried the man. Then he saw the note. Well, that comes from teaching you the alphabet to a little monkey, and I told you no tricks. You may not get any donuts now, George. Put them back in the bag, and let's go learn your letters. And George made a mess. The big U is for the big umbrella standing upright. George knew how to use an umbrella. The small U is a small umbrella. When it's raining, umbrellas are useful, but you must keep under the umbrella unless you want to get wet. George thought rain was a nuisance. It was no fun. The big V is for the big Valentine, and the small V is a small Valentine. George loved Valentines. He got several Valentine cards every year. One card came from Nevada. The big W and the small w are whiskers, big ones and small ones. A walrus has whiskers, some men have whiskers, and cats have whiskers. George did not have whiskers, but he was curious. How would he look with whiskers? Drawing whiskers on. The next letter of the alphabet is X. The big X and the small x look alike. Only one is big and one is small, just like the big W and the small w, and the V and the U, or the S, and some of the other letters. But, said the man, there are few words that start with an X, and they don't look like an X, except one, and that is Xmas. Santa stands for Xmas. There's only one Santa, so we need only one picture. George thought Xmas was exciting. The big Y is the big yak, and the small y is a small yak. He is still young. Yaks live in Tibet. If you haven't seen any yaks yet, you may find one at the zoo. The big Z is a big zebra, and the small z is a small zebra. The zebras are zipping along with zest. And do you know what? Said the man. Z is the last letter. Now you know all 26 letters of the alphabet, and now you may have a donut. The end. It was a really good story, wasn't it, friends? George worked really, really hard to learn his alphabet, even though sometimes he was a little bit naughty. So, I want you to try practicing your alphabet. Please write out the letters of your name. If you need Mom and Dad's help, ask them, and then color over it with rainbow colors and make a beautiful rainbow name. Take a picture of it because I'd love to see it. Have a great night. Bye-bye.